It's one of the most watched and most valuable real estate sites in Cincinnati. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, the bank's powers up. With the project about 1/3 complete, developers are working hard to keep the momentum going on the riverfront. A panel of high-powered commercial real estate and development experts led a discussion about the region's largest mixed-use development last week at the Business Courier's annual Commercial Real Estate Developers Power Breakfast. The sold-out event featured Ready Cincinnati's annual Growth Awards that were presented to companies that attract and retain businesses, jobs, and capital investments in the region. When General Electric opens the doors to its new Global Operations Center at the banks, it will mark a new era in the development of Cincinnati's riverfront. When complete, the banks will be home to thousands of residents and office workers, along with a lively retail and entertainment district bookended by 2 major league stadiums. Business Courier reporter Tom Demeropoulos moderated last week's breakfast and is the man in the know when it comes to commercial real estate. He's with Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio with more on the banks and what came out of that breakfast. Tom and Rob.
Peg, thank you. Tom, thanks for being here. I thought you led a great discussion. Those are 5 of the most important people in the city when it comes specifically to the bank, but big shots in any world. The first question I have for you is, if you're not paying attention to the banks consistently, it's changing all the time. Where is it right now?
Right now, the banks is about 1/3 of the way complete, which is pretty incredible when you start thinking about the size of the development already. So in the 18 acres between the 2 stadiums, there's got about 1 million square feet of finished space with another 100,000 square feet under development. They've got room for 3 million square feet of space in total development. So there's a lot more to come at the banks.
And talk about GE. You can see the cover of the paper, today's paper. You wrote the cover story. That GE building, which is almost done. What does GE mean to the banks, and when does that building open?
So GE is going to move into its new Global Operations Center in September, and that building and that phase of the banks is really kind of the game changer. The first phase of the banks was very successful, filled the retail, filled the apartments right away, but adding GE takes that development to another level. It really adds a new use with office user, it adds a new vibrancy, and it just makes the entire development that much more attractive. It's really changing the front step of Cincinnati.
So you talked about the first step was apartments and restaurants. Talk about hotels and retail. What's going on there?
Yeah, so the banks also has a hotel under development. That's the AC Hotel by Marriott. It's a $35 million hotel, 171 rooms, and it's really catered toward that millennial traveler. So the owner-operator there is going to be Eagle Realty and Weingartner Hammonds, and they are looking to make a hotel that's just unique. It's different than what's currently being offered in Cincinnati. And then on the retail side, retail development, the leasing keeps landing new tenants. They've got Taste of Belgium coming down there. Right. Pies and Pints will be opening in downtown Cincinnati. So some good options coming to the banks.
So last question for you. What's next? We're not anywhere close to being done with this project.
No, we've got, so phase 3 of the parking component of the banks is under construction right now. They're adding about 690 more parking spaces. And then once that's complete, the master developer Carter is going to start their work on capping that development. Right. Dan McCarthy, who's the project executive for Carter, expects that to be a mix of additional apartments and more of that street level retail. And what we don't really notice at this point is that entertainment district is going to stretch. Right now it's kind of centered by Great American Ballpark, but it's going to stretch from stadium to stadium and really be a lively area.
It's an amazing ongoing story, Tom. You've done a great job covering it. I'm sure we'll see a lot more to come.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Rob.
being here. Back to you.
Okay, thanks Rob and Tom.